Hello and welcome to another episode of Critical Conversations. One of the big stories this past week was the UMNO Supreme Council's decision to endorse Ismail Sabri as the Barisan National candidate for Prime Minister should they win the next election. It is a significant political development, one that is important for UMNO going forward. UMNO leaders are now bragging about how united the party is and how they have all put aside their own ambitions for the sake of the party and the nation. Don't be impressed. It's not unity but desperation and ambition that drives them. The push for early elections must be seen against the backdrop of another narrative that is also being played out: the charges against the so-called court cluster. The slow but steady pace of the law is finally catching up on the court cluster. Time is running out for them. What they have now done is to strike a deal with Ismail Sabri, give him what he wants, which is to remain Prime Minister, in exchange for what they desperately need: help with all those criminal charges. Make no mistake, this is not about what is best for the nation. It is about their quest for power, position, and privilege. Will it settle the succession issue? I have my doubts. Remember, these are all ambitious men who will do anything to gain power. Does anyone expect Zahid Hamidi, for example, to simply give up and walk away from the biggest prize of them all, especially now when it is within his reach? He's just biding his time, waiting for the right opportunity to make his move. What about those 87 charges of corruption, abuse of power, and money laundering that he's facing, you ask? In other countries, it would permanently bury a politician. But this is Malaysia, the land of endless possibilities. With this deal in place, elections will come fairly soon, I suspect. The tide is shifting in their favor and they know it. They must strike and strike now. The two opposition groups, Perikatan Nasional and Pakatan Harapan, are demoralized, desperate, and discredited. They've been routed in Sabah, in Sarawak, Malacca, and Johor. Pakatan Harapan leaders are themselves doubtful of their chances. There's no more talk about retaking Putrajaya. It's now about surviving the next election with enough seats to remain relevant. Rafizi Ramli, for example, says the best they can hope for is to win about 80 seats. Nurul Izzah says it will take at least 10 years to retake Putrajaya. Even Lim Guaneng says the DAP will be hard-pressed to hold on to all its seats. I don't know how they expect voters to get excited about Pakatan Harapan when they themselves seem to have lost hope. About the only ones in the non-BN camp who are still dreaming of becoming Prime Minister are Dr. Mahathir, Muhyiddin, and of course Anwar Ibrahim. Yes, they are still around. Unbelievable, isn't it? But now that UMNO has agreed upon Ismail Sabri as their candidate for Prime Minister, they're all singing his praises. Forgotten are the snubs, insults, and criticisms they heaped upon him just a few weeks ago. Suddenly, he is the poster boy, the perfect Prime Minister. But the prize for flattery and apple polishing goes to Wee Ka Siong. He described Ismail Sabri as an exceptional leader who would usher in a return to the golden era of Barisan Nasional. Golden era? Really? Wasn't that the same era that was full of massive corruption, divisive race baiting, religious extremism, and the steady deterioration of all our national institutions? When it comes to voting, please remember that all that glitters is not gold. Otherwise, Malaysia's future will look exactly like its past. Thanks for tuning in. Bye for now.